Good morning and welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. We continue with the program. We are live on CTV and Talk City 91.1 FM, streaming live on ctvtt.com. This morning we are talking about the One World Caribbean Caucus 2018, which we understand is set to take place next week at the Naparima College. Joining us on set to tell us all about this, we have the ambassador herself of the Young World, or One Young World, Melissa Pascal. We also have with us a student who is also assisting, very involved with the One Young World Caribbean Caucus, Mr. Surin Bechan. Good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having us.
I'm very curious, what is the One Young World Caribbean Caucus all about, Ms. Pascal?
First of all, it's a branch of an organization based out of the UK. So it's a non-profit organization. It is entirely based for youth between the ages of 18 and 30 years old. The main one out of the UK, but the most important thing is that it connects world leaders and young leaders. So, for instance, the former UN Secretary Kofi Annan, Nobel Peace Prize winners, top athletes around the world. I mean, anyone that is A-class and of high caliber, they basically bring these amazing guys together, and we interact with leaders from around the world. Almost 1,500 of us come together in one conference. I've been to the one in Thailand, Bangkok, and as well as Colombia, Bogota, representing both Trinidad and also the region. So it's a conference that can change your entire paradigm shift. You can't have a paradigm shift because you recognize what youth are capable of. Basically, they can change your world. I've seen and experienced that. So that's the reason why we have partnered with Naparima to host our Caribbean Caucus, to bring that sort of caliber, that energy, that positive vibes to the Caribbean, and get Trinidadian youth involved, because why not, right?
Yeah. Is it the first time that we're having something like this?
This is the second time.
Okay.
So the first time Arthur Lockjack partnered with us, and we had the inaugural caucus there, where we had youth from all over the region coming, former ambassadors as well. So therefore we had from Haiti, from Grenada, from Guyana, and as well, we had really great local speakers as well coming in to speak on topics like entrepreneurship, leadership, governance, women's rights. And I'm sure Surin is going to take the floor over and tell us all about the speakers in Naparima that we're going to have on the 29th and the 30th next week.
Yes, Mr. Bechan, how do you feel about this, first of all?
Well, one, it is very interesting. It's to say it's a very good experience for not just myself, but my colleagues back at Naparima College. This is the first time we actually got involved in planning an event, something like this, and actually getting involved to help.
Yes.
You know, usually we say we'll participate, but now that Naparima College is partnered, and thanks to Dr. Dowlat for getting us involved, we now meet with Mr. Kiran Samaru, who is the coordinator for the Caribbean Caucus this year. So we got in touch with him, and now we are helping, and we are kind of on board.
Great. So what's on the agenda? Who are some of the speakers? What can we expect?
Some of the speakers we can look for are the Honorable Bastio Pandey, former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. We can also see Dr. Diane Douglas, Winston Dukaran, and also Shamla Miraj. Just a few speakers to name.
Is there a theme or a topic this year? How does it work?
So this year, basically, we focus on like 5 or 6 main topics. So basically, our speakers are different strengths and expertise. So we mentioned, Surin would have mentioned a lot of speakers there, but again, we also have Anya Yangchi. So it's really across a large spectrum. So again, it's based on leadership, entrepreneurship, governance, politics, education. So based on the pillars that we have basically focused on, we have the speakers associated with it. So basically, it's supposed to be a wide range, so that youth would have get a touch of every single thing, to get a flavor of where they can truly have their impact. Because we don't want to be a talk shop. Of course, it's a conference. Of course, ideas will be shared. There'll be a lot of talking, but we want solutions to come out post-talking. And you have a lot of NGOs as well that are coming in, and we want the youth after to find something that they're truly passionate about. Go get affiliated with the NGOs and actually go back and solve something within the community. Because without execution, without action, then you know, we truly can't have the impact that we would like to have. And that's what we're pushing this year, action.
Is there any sort of follow-up or following the conference? Yeah.
Yes. Kiran Samaru, who is the current regional coordinator, ambassador for One Young World, he is massive on that. And he really has said after this, we're basically going to break up all the solutions into sections, based into themes. So if it's leadership, governance, politics, entrepreneurship, and then we're going to get low established or non-established NGOs ready to actually place the solution that we have so we can actually execute them. So yes, we are using established infrastructure to sort of execute based on that.
Do we have any foreign speakers this year?
We have, Surin will have to answer that. I'm not entirely sure if we still have the Prime Minister of Dominica, is it? Is she? I'm not sure if he or she is confirmed. I'm not sure.
May not be confirmed, but...
Okay, but has been invited.
Okay, yes. All right. What are some of the benefits of having an event like this or a conference like this?
I can say my own, and Surin
Sure.
can say it from his perspective. For me, it is a platform for connectivity. Your network is your net worth. And youth have to recognize that, you know what, the guys that you're rubbing shoulders with today, you never know where they're going to be in 5 years' time at a peer level. And then the caliber of speakers that has been invited to the Caribbean Caucus, it's so insane. You have an opportunity to interact with a former Prime Minister, you know, to share the same space. It is truly an honor. And I really hope that we recognize the significance of what this is. I mean, most of us would never have that opportunity. And One Young World is actually making this happen, making this collaboration happen. And you should really come out and you know, and soak it all up. It's going to be epic. And as well as if you have an opportunity to go to the One Young World actual conference, which is held at The Hague, again, that's a different level, which is an experience to be honestly savor, for sure.
Yes. And at Naparima College, would you say that it's open to members of the public to attend? Who is invited to this?
All youths who are from the ages of 15 to 30 are welcome to attend. However, before you attend, there is a registration that needs to be done first. And this can be done online. You can go at the One Young World Caribbean Facebook page, or you can go on the One Young World site and you'll see the Caribbean Caucus. There's a URL. You click on it, it can take you to a Google form where you fill out your information.
So I know you were part of the organizing team. So were you the one to make the phone calls to invite, let's say, Anya Youngchi or Mr. Bastille Pandey?
Unfortunately not, but it would have been a good experience.
Yes.
I'm more in charge of holding our live stream.
Okay.
And yes, the live stream is going to be a big thing for the Caribbean Caucus. So anybody who around the world who may not be able to attend but still wants to tune in, to take part, to post their questions, someone give some input into the caucus, you can tune on the One Young World Caribbean
Great.
page.
So it's very interactive.
Yes, it is.
Now, what sort of response do you think the leaders that you mentioned would have had towards something like this? Do you think that they recognize the importance and the value and the worth of something like this?
Yes, they do. And it is because, as Miss Melissa said, the youths today would be the leaders of tomorrow. And there are many voices that we see in the public, many voices that the opposition takes into position and to account. But when we take the youths to say now, there's now a new branch, let's say a new
avenue through which we can do that.
Yes, a new avenue.
Yes. Now, I remember chatting with Nikolai Edwards. You know, he's very much involved with youth advocacy and that sort of thing. And he mentioned that a lot of the times youths are not really given the opportunities. Do you see this as definitely being an opportunity young people from different schools should come on board and take advantage of?
Of course, not just the secondary schools, also tertiary education and any forward-moving groups that you may be part of. It's open to all youths to attend.
Yeah. Ms. Pascal mentioned networking. At your age, do you really understand the importance of networking?
Of course, it is a very important thing, especially in our world today. And we see that technology is also evolving and makes it much easier for networking.
Yes. Ms. Pascal, how did you get involved in all of this?
Well, back in my younger days, I applied to represent Trinidad at One Young World in Bangkok, Thailand. So in my 20s. And from there, I was so moved, like it really shook me to my core of what I was exposed to, what youth were doing internationally, and I had to ask myself, I'm like, what am I doing? Not that much, you know. And it really, I had to ask some very deep, hurtful questions at the time. The answer I got, and then I really became involved again. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to apply to become the regional ambassador. So that which Kieran is doing right now. Basically, you're in charge of the entire Caribbean region, so 15 islands. And basically, what your job is to basically bring everything together. And during last year, that's when we had our inaugural One Young World Caribbean Caucus. That's what I really wanted, to leave a legacy. And then Kieran has taken over and done an epic job and partnered with Naparima. So there's this continuation, this sustainability. And I'm just on this year, just here to be a supportive role more than anything else. Supporting the guys in Naparima, supporting Kieran Joseph in his role. And yes, so that's...
Right. Wonderful. And when is it?
The Caribbean Caucus will be taking place next week, Wednesday and Thursday. Those dates are the 29th and 30th of August. The registration begins at 8:30 a.m., so you're required to be at the compound for 8:30. And the opening ceremony itself begins at 9. It is being held at Naparima College in San Fernando, Lute Drive, in its auditorium.
Okay, what are your closing comments, Ms. Pascal?
I think it's an amazing opportunity for youth to come out and have a peer-to-peer conversation. One, come out and see what there is out there and see what you're capable of. Make the choice, attend, be present, and know that you have a voice, but you have to make the choice to be there, to be present in order to be heard.
Yes, and your closing comments. What would you like to say to those looking on and listening, especially the younger ones who are wondering if they should be part of this?
To all the younger ones and all the youths, it is a great idea to come out and be part of this. There's nothing wrong. It cannot hurt just to come out and speak your mind, to say your opinions. You never know where it can actually take the society today and how it can actually affect the future generations tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and best of luck with this.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, so we now take you to our travel weather forecast.